What are people thinking about you when you're not in the room? That's your personal branding. The social media has changed the whole different meaning and perspective when it comes to your branding. If you're thinking about your title and that's your brand, you're wrong. Your title is not your brand. It's a reputation that brings in with the title. That's your brand. No matter what you do, you have to be comfortable within yourself to let the people know who you are. That's your personal brand. In order to create your personal brand on your own, you must know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. You have to be self-aware. We all know that we go to colleges and we talk about personal branding. We read it on a textbook, but we have no idea how do we apply on a real life. And I'll share with you how you go about applying that in a real life. First step to the personal branding is knowing who you are. And if you're not sure about who you are, you have to go and reach out to the people who might know you. Maybe your managers, maybe your friends who are going to be giving you that candid feedback on who you are. When you reach out to the people, do not be surprised when they are candid about it if they are really blunt on the feedback. Take that feedback and work on it. So the second step is to focus on your niche, which is, let's say that you're a job seeker and you're specialized in digital marketing. Just because you're going to tell people that you're specialized in digital marketing, that does not give away what you are good at. You have to come up with what in particular within digital marketing that you're very good at it. And you are going to craft that out and showcase within the community when you're networking, even on a social media. So the personal branding happens everywhere. You got to be consistent. That's a third step of personal branding. When you are putting the content out on a social media, be very cautious about it. Only write the things that you are going to be good at. Other stage of personal branding is now crafting those content and reliving it every day. Social media has become so powerful when it comes to letting people know who you are. That's where you can shine out, whether it's a Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever it could be. You can definitely craft the content and target your audience so they can come to you. So what you gotta do is whenever you're writing it, you got to iron that out, that when people look at you, people see you as an expert on that particular niche that you're driving traffic towards. That's your personal branding. You got to be genuine about it, and you got to be subject matter expert on it too. When they are looking for people like you, they should be able to go onto your content and look at what you wrote or even what you participated in online. If you share the right content, they would be able to identify who you are. Another step of personal branding is creating a story and trying to target your right audience. Without the story, people are not going to connect with you, whether you're a job seeker or you're opening a business or you're in a corporate world. Doesn't matter. You have to share the story where you can connect with your target market. The other step would be to be consistent. If you are writing a content on LinkedIn, be consistent everywhere else. It's not that you just focus on personal branding on one channel and live differently out there outside of channel. You got to be authentic. You got to sing a same song wherever you go, in-person meeting or all over social media as well, to ensure that you are preaching it every day and being consistent. Other aspect of personal branding is creating a beautiful stories, even sharing your failures, so that someone somewhere would be inspired by your story. You're not writing those content for yourself. You're writing those contents for someone else who is going to read it. If you're a job seeker, you got to define who you are. You got to know what are you good at. First, figure out your strength and weakness. Find out about your niche and go from there. Be self-aware. Second step is to get the feedback from the people that you trust. You never know what comes in a feedback. If you want, you can use the SurveyMonkey, 360 feedback, all those tools to get a candid feedback and jot it down and see what are people talking about when you're not in the room. And you can start from there. The third step would be to craft the personal branding statement and go from there. Who are you? How are you making an impact to the company or to people in your life? The impact that you make matters to any business or people's life. That's who you are as a person, and that's your personal branding. The other step for personal branding is to create the content with a purpose. Don't worry about it if there's nobody reading your content. Your content should be only targeted to the marketed people. If you're a job seeker, it should be for employers. If you're a business owner, it should be for your prospect. In order to impact and make it very, very easy for them to understand your content, you can try to relate to the stories. Personal branding does not just happen overnight. For you to create the brand, it's a years of building from bottom. So if you're working somewhere right now, even if you're not a job seeker, I want you to think about who are you without that title. If your title gets taken away tomorrow, what are the impacts that you've made based on the title in the past? Find out about your strengths and weaknesses. And if you become a job seeker someday, how are you going to talk about who you are? What are you good at? And what people would talk about you when you're not in the room? Just to recap, personal branding is identifying who you are, your unique value, who are your clients, who are you going to impact, participating in a content writing on a media by deliberately going to your targeted market or your targeted employers, trying to fix their problem, and they will come to you. If you're a job seeker and if you want to get more attention from employers, you got to target those employers. You got to start writing. You got to start reaching out by providing the solutions. You got to do a lot of homework and build your personal brand online. Personal brands are no longer only sticking in person during networking. Now employers are looking for you and scanning online as well. How engaged you are, where do you comment, what kind of posts you like it, all those matters. That's your personal branding. Who are you without your title? Think about it. If you need any courses on personal branding, we do teach job seekers on finding those personal branding niche. If you're struggling to find out about your niche and you're having issues with the personal branding, we provide personal branding classes as well. You can visit teachanddo.com and contact us through that page. We'd be more than happy to help you out.